the South Side. He made the trip all the way up here to see you. The Honorable Representative Cyril Nichols.
I get to follow. Rules just got bigger.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what your plans on the next legislative session.
Here we got President Malone now.
Did you recognize this person?
Yeah, I do. One of the first.
You and him came from the South Side, and what about the third person over there?
Yeah.
That's our honor. Three of us, all of you on the North Side.
I'd like to welcome Abu Ghazi, President of the Mosque Foundation, the Honorable Osama Jamal.
Stand up. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
So listen, I'm probably not your typical representative, so this is going to go really, really different. But I'd like to say how proud I am of you. And so when I'm an emotional man. So if I start crying and tearing up a little bit, I'm not having a nervous breakdown. Right? My father always taught me that God gave us tears for a reason. Ellie, I'm so proud of you. I mean, you ran a great race. But when I first came into the General Assembly, this is one of the first people I've had a conversation with. And I didn't know A from B. You know, we would go out to dinner and I would just ask some of the crazy questions. It's just an honor to know that now I know a congresswoman. And I'll get to go to Washington and I know somebody. I physically actually know somebody, right? So you're gonna do well. God has blessed you and your family. You are such just a good person. And that's kind of what we need in these times. We just need good people that really represent the people. So anytime you remember my high school, almost made me cry. So yes, I am on the north side, I'm from the south side. So my name is Cyril Nichols. I've probably been termed by the press as everybody's rep because I don't just represent the 32nd District. I've been representing the state of Illinois, in and outside of the state of Illinois in my short 17 months of service. I've orchestrated, I not only voted on legislation, but I've actually carried and orchestrated legislation for all the people in the state of Illinois. And we'll get into some of that, but that's who I am. So I don't want to waste time about talking about me. I really want to get to answering some questions, and those two questions were great questions. I actually already tagged them as bills and sent to my staffers to see what we can do to rectify that bathroom situation. So you guys already sent it. So the people that work on my staff know that there's no sleep. So they understand that. So we'll get to work on some of those questions. So I'm open right now. If you just want to know about me, we can talk later. I'd rather talk to you guys and hear what you have to say. And if you guys have any questions, right, I'm pretty sure the moderator is full of them. So let's go with it.
Representative Nichols, you've been working for the community on the Middle East, North African category for us with Speaker Welsh. Can you give us an update on what's the plan for that? Are you getting some support on that? Springfield, moving forward, a little update.
So you're speaking of the bill I'm carrying for the minorities. All right, so again, I'm your representative. And whatever you guys bring to me is my job to represent you. I think I said this at the first day of prayer that I went to, that I am your voice, and I'm here to not only bring respect to your community, but let people know your concerns. That's what a state representative is. That's my only job. I have no other job, right? I am there to represent you. And a lot of times, you know, a lot of people get into who's representing our community. Does that person need to be Palestinian? Does that person need to be, no, I'm your representative. The people voted me in to represent your interests. And I just speak for anybody. Don't vote nobody in if they don't represent your interests. You know, as they say, all folk ain't skin folk, right? Like, just because you're from the same hue don't mean that you're really representing us, right? You need people that really want to represent your interests. So it was brought to my attention that, you know, in the every business community, you're not considered minorities. And that actually was a bill that was developed in Detroit, in your community. And there's two sides to that coin, right? One side is, what makes it bad for you to be considered a minority? So sometimes we talk about the westernized indoctrination of this country. But the other side of that coin is, you don't get a chance to bid on contracts if you're not considered a minority. A lot of these grants and a lot of these opportunities that come out, they come out from minority status. So this bill has already been orchestrated in Detroit, in your community. It's nothing that I had to come up with. It's already in play. So would you rather be locked out because of the ideology of being a minority, or would you rather be locked in so that you can support your families and your communities? We had this conversation about the idea of status. For me, I think it's a great thing. It was brought to me in your community. So I filed a bill. And so the speaker and I brought the speaker to the mosque. He's never been, it's the first time we brought him out. And we talked about it. This is an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity. And, you know, as we move forward, if people really understand what that means, it's $45 billion being carved up in the state of Illinois. $45 billion. There's another 45 for roads and bridges. How many of them contracts are you getting? Oh, wait. Zero. You call that equity and inclusion? So this is what we have to understand. We have to understand the ideology behind the concept of the bill. Not the ideology behind the concept of your own construct that somebody has implanted in your mind. To think that because somebody called you a minority is something bad. It's not. It gives you an opportunity to actually engage in the policies and the directions of the state of Illinois. So that's where we're at. When I go back, the bill, I have to get 60 people the way the legislation runs, and I don't have my right-hand woman no more, but 60 people in the House, 30 in the Senate, and the government has to sign it. We right now have what we're calling the super duper majority. That's 78 seats in the House. It's never happened in the history of Illinois. That can be good, but then again, it could not be so good, because now you got to bring all these people together to actually move legislation. And in the House, if you get 71 votes, it's veto-proof. So it's a great opportunity, as the Congresswoman has said, for us to actually start moving stuff while we have this majority.
Well, I want to thank you for sponsoring that bill. That's going to be huge for the community. I'd like to give them a hand.
Let's take a break.
And a side note, what he's doing in Springfield, we have Congressman Raja doing it at the federal level. So you can talk to your staff, you can talk to his staff about maybe coordinating, moving it forward. Thank you. We're going to take a short break for getting some food.
Yes.
Okay.